Welcome everyone to your Flamingo, and today we are going to do a poem, that is an elementary school classroom in the slum, and it's by Stephen Spender. Okay, now the theme over here is what theme has the poet tried to highlight on? That is social injustice and inequalities. That's the theme. Let's see what he tries to explain through this. Now just look at the name. Elementary school is what? Classes from 1 to 5. That is elementary school education, it is known as so. And children from 6 to 11 mostly are the ones who are part of this classroom. Okay, now just I'll read the introduction what is given over here about the poet. So I didn't write anything here. Stephen Spender, who was he? The duration of his working things and all, 1909 to 1995, and he was an English poet and of course an essayist. He left the University College at Oxford without taking a degree and went to Berlin in 1930s. Spender took a keen interest in what? In politics, and declared himself to be a socialist and a pacifist. And that is why he had taken the theme of social injustice and inequalities. The struggle, books by Spender include few of his works will come across: poems on dedication, the edge of being, the creative element, and of course the struggle of the modern and an autobiography, world within world. Okay, in an elementary school classroom, is in a slum. He has concentrated on the themes of social injustice and class inequalities. Okay, we see inequalities and injustice. These are very common issues every year, year around, or not a year. I would say everywhere we see this. Okay, due to the power and things, people who are, if I am talking about the education level, or I as a teacher, I talk to you also, many times we see children are deprived because of their poverty or incapability to give the donations and so on, and irrespective of they having much knowledge or well educated, good marks and all, because of that they are deprived from their opportunities. Okay, so now let's move on with the poem. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces. Now, before I'll just like to tell you something is, here the poet is very badly hurt, okay, by the social injustice and inequalities. He has seen children in the slum areas, how the schools are. People talk about big things, big pictures are there, paintings are there in this school. But in reality, when we go to talk about the children, that really are they getting education over there and so on, that we see that they are deprived from all these opportunities. Okay, and that is why he was inspired to write such a poetry. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces like rootless weeds, the hair torn around their pallor, the tall girl with their weighted down head, the paper seeming boy with rat's eyes, the stunted, unlucky hire of twisted bones, reciting a father's nailed disease. His lesson from his desk at back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game in tree room other than this. Okay, this is the first stanza. I'll just explain it now. What is he saying? As I told you, poet is trying to, through the poem, trying to highlight the condition of the slum children. And I hope you know what is a slum. If you happen to meet a slum or go in a slum area, you have seen how the condition is of the people prevailing there. Okay, far, far from gusty waves. This word he has used, far, far. This shows the distance. Means distance of not the slum area or the distance of the school from the city or so on. He's saying that the children who are far, far, far from deprived, they are next to nothing. They are of all the opportunities what the others get. Gusty waves these children's faces. Gusty is what? Strong windy waves, or the strong wind which is blowing. These children's faces look like this. And he's saying that far, far away, there's a world different from what we are, these children are seeing. And these children are never aware of the things that really there is some other world from the slum world what they are staying in. Like rootless weeds, the hair torn around their pillow. And the poet is comparing what? The children's faces or the children with what? With the rootless weeds. Weeds, you know, the unwanted plants what grow in our garden and so on. What do? We uproot them and throw it away, thinking that they are not required. Similarly, even though part of this universe or world, these children seem to be unwanted to everyone. And so, no one dare to bother their condition, their food, their shelter and so on. The half-torn hair torn around their pallor. Pallor is a dull face. Okay, and this also signifies malnutrition, lack of food, care and so on. And saying that how is their hair? The hair is not properly combed. Torn it is. Torn hair is not torn, but it is shattered. They look shabby, dirty and so on. So that is why I say. And then the tall girl with her weighed down head. These few references the poet is giving and showing that these are the children who are in this elementary school. One is who? One is this boy. Okay, children's faces are like this. They are like rootless weeds. Hair is not combed properly. They are dull, with dull faces and so on. They look pale due to lack of food. Okay, and then one tall girl is also there. What is she doing? She is sitting, putting her head down. Weight down means head down. And another one is there. Who is he? The paper seaming boy. Paper seaming boy means a boy seated there is very lean and thin, very weak. And so the poet says that it seems as if he is like a paper. He is as thin as a paper. And with rat's eyes. How is his curious eyes? So many dreams are there, but worried may or may not be fulfilled. The stunned, unlucky hire of twisted bones. And why these eyes are like rat's eyes or curious? What has he hired? Hire is the things what a child gets from father or forefather from generations. And this boy, whatever he has succeeded or got from his father, what is that? He is considered to be unlucky. Why is he unlucky? Because from his father he has got twisted bones. Father was not in a condition to feed him properly. And reciting a father's nail disease. Reciting means showing. And what else has he got from his father's hire or as a successor? He has got his father's disease. Nail means tough, very severe disease the boy has got. His lesson from his desk at the back of the dim class, one unnoted sweet. And what is he doing? This sort boy was doing his lessons, was studying, sitting at the bench or at the desk. At the back of the dim class. The class is in a slum area. Slum we know is very congested. These people also, most of their life gets over in the darkness. Hardly sunlight is there. Houses are very congested, small rooms and so on. Hardly any basic facilities are there. So is the classroom also. Classroom is dark. Okay? And at the end of the classroom, what is there? One boy is sitting there, unnoted, sweet and young. Boy is very young, sweet, but he is not noticed by anyone. Boy is not visible. Why is he not visible? Because the room is very dark and his eyes live in a dream. Till we can, even though in the dark we can see his eyes, the poet says, and the eyes are full of dream that he wants to fulfill. And what is he doing there? He is of squirrel's game in a tree room. There's a tree house somewhere, and from there he is busy, not interested in the studies going on. What is he busy with? He is busy seeing the squirrel playing over there, and that is how he is entertaining himself or trying to dream of his own hopes. And other than this means other than whatever is going on in the class, he is bothered about seeing the squirrel playing the game. On sour walls, donations, Shakespeare's head, cloudless at dawn, civilized doom riding all cities, belled, flowery, tireless valley, open-handed maps, awarding the world its world. And yet for these children, these windows, not this map, their world, where all their futures painted with a fog. What is he saying? That the classroom, we are told, it is very dull and dirty and so on, and the walls of this classroom is how of sour cream walls. The color is not clear white or this thing, it looks dirty and sort of off white creamy sort of a color is there. And donations, Shakespeare's head, cloudless. And so what is saying, that no one is the few donations are given. These schools are run by charity or donations. And what are the things got by from donations? Shakespeare's head, a picture of Shakespeare. Then cloudless at dawn. The time is this thing. The boy is very lonely, as we told, is sitting, and the Shakespeare's pictures, cloudless at dawn, civilized doom riding all cities. And these people, pictures of the clear sky is there, clear evening or dawn is there. Then civilized dome riding at all cities. Civilized photos are there, pictures are there. But the children who are there, they don't even know who is Shakespeare. They don't even know who are the people or what is civilized life and so on. And what is saying, other than that, riding all cities, pictures of attractive places, belled, then flower is there, natural beauty is seen there, and tireless valley is also there, pictures of all these things. But these all things may be important or valuable to those who have given them as charity, or who knows what is this things, because they are rich enough. But to these children, they are not aware of all these things, so they are not of any importance to them. Open-handed maps awarding the world its world. And what is it saying? That the dirty walls are very unpleasant, and all kinds of pictures are donated by this big and all rich people. But here Shakespeare's photo is there, and that also signifies knowledge. Means people, the great people or the rich people have decorated the roof with as much as possible to show off all these things. But in reality, they are not bothered about these children. So the poet is given an ironical touch, that these all things, they might be costly, those whosoever have donated them or gifted them, or their value they know. But these slum children who say they are suffering from poverty and all, so they do not know all these things, and poverty and things are to be eradicated, or the steps should be taken by these great people to lessen the poverty or give a better life to these children, rather than decorating the room or decorating the walls to highlight the things, or to just show off the things. That is how he has given an ironical touch. Then he is saying, and yet of all these children, these windows, not this map, their world. These windows, from these, they say that whatever things is there, they are in the map. These children even don't know what is a map and what are the things. And from the windows, he is saying, what does he say? That from the windows of the classroom, they can see a world. And what is there? Not this map, their world. He is saying that their world, what in the place where they are staying, is nowhere seen. The slum areas, the slum classroom, that is not seen anywhere in any of the world map, where all their futures painted with the fog. And these children, even though big palaces are there, greenery is there, good pictures are there, they are all meaningless for them, because they are in the slum area, which is not located in any of the world map, and they find that their future is foggy. Foggy means dull, and they feel that hardly whether or not will they be able to come out from this darkness. A narrow street sealed in with a lead, far, far from rivers, caves and stars of words. You say, and a narrow street, slum areas are very congested, and there both the rows houses are there, and the path is very narrow. So he's saying that the path is so narrow, means they are very congested, sealed, that with a lead sky, and the top of that everywhere darkness is there, And the lead sky means sky not made of lead, but how is the sky? The sky is dark, gloomy, and this also indicates their dark future. Far from rivers, caves, and stars of worlds. And how is their future? They are far from, or they are deprived from the beauty of the nature, the rivers, the caves. Caves are large places of land which have come out from the sea and sea or on the shore. So these are, and stars of words. Stars of words are education. They have neither education, neither they know the beauty of the rivers, the caves, or the natural beauty, because they are stuck up in the sealed narrow streets or in the narrow houses. This is always seen in the slum areas, and they are deprived from all the beauty of the nature, either sunlight, because they are covered in lead sky, or the dark sky, the houses where they stay. And that is how the thing. Surely Shakespeare is wicked, the map of a bad example, which ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. Here what is the poet saying? That the children are not aware of the other world other than their slum world. So when, even if they happen to come across these things which are seen in the classroom, the attractive picture of Shakespeare or the beauty of the nature and so on, these things do not make them happy. But what do? The sun and things, when they see, they love and all, tempting them to steal. These things force them or tempts them to steal for lives that silently turn in their cramped holes. And steal for what? Seeing all these things, what are they doing? He's saying that seeing all these things, they are tempted to steal, and for lives, tempting to, for they are in search of, or for lives, they are, what sort of life? Their lives are just sealed in cramped holes. Cramped holes means they are staying in small houses which are sealed, which are very close, hardly a ventilation is there, and from fog to endless night. And how is their future? Is saying right now their future is foggy, and slowly and gradually they do not dream of any improvement in that. This fog will turn into endless night, and then their life will get over. On their slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel, with mended glass like a bottle bits on stones. All of their time and space are foggy slum. What is he saying? These children are seated where? On slag heap, long heaps of dust and waste, all these things are there. The children do not have such good drawing rooms or attractive rooms to sit. Where are they sitting? They are sitting on these dust or these garbage heaps and all. And how is there? They wear skins peeped through by the bones. They are not wearing the skin, but they are so lean and thin due to malnutrition, due to lack of food and things. So what happens is they are so lean and weak that it seems as if they are looking very skinny. So the poet is sarcastically saying as if they are wearing their skin, and through the skin, that is bones, are visible. Some of them are putting on spectacles, okay, steel spectacles, but the glass of that is broken, and somehow it is stuck. Mended glass, it is stuck, somehow it is mended or repaired. And he compares this repaired or mended glass with what? Bottle bits on stones. As broken bits of glass bottles are put on or stuck on a stone, similarly the spectacles or the glass, repaired glass of this spectacles which these children are wearing seem to be like this. And all of their time and space are foggy and slum. Whatever time is there, and they do not have energy. They are deprived from food, shelter, everything, education. Okay, life is all injustice is done to them, which is there on the other end of the world. And so he's saying their time is how their space are foggy. Everything they see, they never dream of something good or bright. Everything is blur, everything is dark, whatever they think of. So blot their maps with slums as big as dome. Here the poet expresses his anger. He is angry with those rich people who are busy doing all show-offs and things, decorating the rooms with what? The best pictures and so on. Okay, but he is saying that these people should blot their maps with slums as big as dome. He is saying instead of the maps having all these attractive places and beautiful places, things, flowers and this thing, this map should have the pictures of these slums, and they're as big as dome. He's saying that, what is he saying? He is asking that the map should be full of these slums, so that what would happen, and this would be as big as a dome, and it should be, doom is what? Doom is the this thing, disaster. And if it is these slums are the disaster, their life is as a disaster. So he's saying better than that, this map should have slums which are bigger than disasters instead of the attractive things. Unless governor, here in the last stanza the poet expresses his hope that maybe one or the other day some hope is there, and so he advises, he wishes that these people, these rich people, the governor, the inspector, or the visitors whosoever are coming to school, he expects that they do something for these children, they do something for the people staying in this slum area. And he's saying this map becomes their window, and their windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs. He's saying that they should do something. He expresses that to lessen the hardships of this slum people, to remove the poverty, to give some education to these children, to give them better hygienic place to live in. He requests, or he expects that these people should do. And what he say, if not, then for these slum people, the maps are what? Maps are the not the things which they see in this world. This map becomes their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives. These maps for them are nothing but the windows, and these windows are closed beyond their lives. And the lives are how? Their lives are dumped, catacombs, like catacombs. See, catacombs meaning is over given to say that what is this? It is the symmetrical cemeteries of Rome, or domes. It has the buried ground. Their life of these slum people or the children are buried underneath, and they expect that these people, rich people, should bring them out from this situation. Break, oh break. Then he thinks that no use telling these people, the poet. So he develops a hope, or he asks these people, the slum people or the slum children, that oh, you break out, you come out till they break the town. You come out of your poverty, you come out of your difficult situation, of your gloomy world. And what do? And show the children to, and come out, run in the green fields, and make their run azar on gold strand. You come out, you become free, run like a free bird on the azar. Azar is blue sky, or on the golden sand, means on the sand you run and be a free bird. And let their tongues, he is requesting these people, give them the opportunity, give these slum children the opportunity that they also, like other children, experience the golden sand. They also experience the coolness of the blue sky, and let their tongues run naked into books, the white and green leaves open. He is saying that let their tongues run naked means let them also be educated, let them also learn to read and write. White and green leaves open. He say white and green leaves open means these are the pages of the notebooks. Let them write and read. Let them be educated. History theirs, whose language is the sun. And he's saying that the history is made. This is the last line. What is he saying? People in charge of this school is requesting that these governors, visitors, they are all ignorant. They don't give a damn. They don't bother to see how these people or how these children are suffering. And so he's saying history only is made. What is he saying? That history is made by only those people whose language is the sun, means who are educated, only have the knowledge, and they can only make their history. And by having education and by having knowledge, they can mark their identity. They can have a place of theirs in this world. This is how the poet gets over, and these literary devices, whatever is there, line by line, I'll just send you the PDF or give you a WhatsApp, so that with the line you understand. I'll write and give a WhatsApp or a PDF. Okay, so this is how the poem comes to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, line by line explanation I have given, and with what intention the poet had he started the poem, that is, he had tried to show how injustice is done to these slum children, and with the hope that might be someone comes and changes their life, or he is inspiring these children also to break open all the bars and make their own future bright. Thank you. Have a nice time and subscribe my channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon, and of course give some inspiring comments to make better future next time. Thank you.